Sarah was a woman who lived in a very small town. And although her life was simple, inside her heart she carried a very big dream, because she always wanted to become a runner, even though she had never tried to run before in her life. Many times, Sarah thought to herself that she was not fast enough, and she felt too weak to run. And when she looked at other runners, moving quickly and easily, she felt small and said, maybe this dream is not possible for me. And these thoughts stayed in her mind every single day. But one morning something inside her changed, and when she woke up, she felt different. And she decided that today I will try, and I will not keep waiting. Sarah found her old pair of shoes, which were not real running shoes. But she didn't care, because she only wanted to start. And although she felt nervous and her stomach felt tight, she also felt excited, so she took a deep breath and stepped outside. The sun was shining brightly, the air was fresh, and she walked slowly to the park, where she saw other runners moving fast around the track. Sarah felt slower than everyone else, but she told herself it was okay, because she was just beginning. At first, she only walked around the park, and soon her legs grew tired, and her heart beat very fast, and she wanted to stop, but she remembered her dream and whispered to herself, "Don't give up now." And she kept walking. After 30 minutes, Sarah felt exhausted. But at the same time she was also happy, because she had taken the very first step on her journey to becoming a runner. The next morning, Sarah woke up with sore legs, and she thought, maybe I should stay in bed and rest. But then she remembered how proud she felt yesterday when she walked. So she put on her shoes again and went back to the park. This time she tried jogging. And even though her feet felt heavy, and her heart was beating faster, she kept moving forward. Week after week, she continued, and after some time Sarah could run for 10 minutes without stopping, and her legs felt stronger, and her body did not hurt as much as before. She smiled because she could see her progress, and she was happy. But then one day something unexpected happened. While running, Sarah tripped and fell hard on the ground, and she felt a sharp pain in her leg. The doctor later told her that she had broken her leg, and she would not be able to run for many months. Sarah felt very sad, and thought, I worked so hard, and now I must stop. And she stayed at home with her leg, in recovery. And sometimes she felt like giving up completely. But one afternoon she looked out her window, and saw people running in the park, and her heart remembered her dream. And she told herself, I cannot give up now. After many months, Sarah's leg healed, and she started walking again. It was painful and slow at first, but she walked every day. And little by little, her leg became stronger. One day Sarah felt ready to try running again. So she put on her shoes and went back to the park. She felt nervous, but she started to run. Her legs shook, and her breathing was heavy. But she kept telling herself, don't give up. With more months of practice, Sarah became stronger than ever before. And finally she signed up for her first race, which was a 5-kilometer race in her town. Before the race, she felt nervous and thought, what if I cannot finish? But then she remembered her long journey, and she said to herself, I did not give up before, and I will not give up now. On the day of the race, Sarah stood at the starting line with many other people. Some of them were experienced runners, and some of them were beginners like her. Her heart was beating fast, but when the race began, she started to run. At first she felt good, because her legs were strong, and her breathing was steady. But after some time she started to feel tired, and she thought maybe I should stop, but Then she remembered her hard work, and said, "No, I can do this." She kept running. And when she saw the finish line ahead, her heart was racing, her legs were burning, but she refused to stop. She pushed herself and ran as fast as she could. And finally she crossed the finish line. Tears filled her eyes as she realized she had finished her very first race. And even though it was not easy, she had done it. After that race, Sarah joined more races. Each race was still difficult, but she always remembered her promise to never give up. She even won some small local races. And the first time she stood at the finish line with a medal around her neck, she could hardly believe it. She held the medal in her hands and thought, "I really did it." And her heart was full of joy. Because she had changed so much from the woman who once felt too afraid to even try running. Sarah's biggest challenge came when she signed up for a marathon, which is 42 kilometers long, the hardest race she had ever imagined. The night before the marathon, she felt nervous and asked herself, "Can I really finish this?" But she remembered her journey, and she remembered how she had broken her leg and learned to walk again. And she thought, "If I can do that, then I can do anything." On the morning of the marathon, Sarah stood with hundreds of runners. The air was cold, her legs shook, and her heart was beating quickly. But when the race started, she began slowly, because she knew the road ahead would be long. At first, she felt strong, but as the kilometers passed, she became more and more tired. By the time she reached 30 kilometers, her legs hurt badly, and she wanted to stop. But she said to herself, "I have come too far to give up." At 40 kilometers, Sarah felt exhausted. Her breathing was short, and her legs felt like fire, and when she looked at the finish line, it seemed far away. But she remembered all the times she had finished races before. And she remembered the pride she always felt. With her last bit of energy, she told herself, "Don't give up," and she pushed forward, running as fast as her tired body would allow, until finally, she crossed the finish line. Tears ran down her face, as she realized she had completed the marathon. People cheered, her friends and family hugged her, and they said, "Sarah, you did it." Sarah smiled with joy, because she felt strong, proud, and alive. And she knew from that day on, that she could do anything, if she never gave up. She continued to run races, and every time she crossed the finish line, she remembered the long path she had taken, from a woman who was once too afraid to run, to a champion in her own way. Sarah became a true champion, not because she was the fastest runner, but because she always kept going, and never gave up on her dream. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and share, so that more people can hear the story of Sarah, and be inspired to follow their own dreams.